Alright, what up, tubies? We back. You know the deal. Another Arena QB. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Thanks for watching. And please don't forget to check out all of my partners and sponsors to help me continue doing what I do. You can see all the sponsors up above there. We also have a Card Kingdom link down below, cardkingdom.com/Numot. Anyways, let's just jump right into the cube. I'm sad to say that I just finished the stream and we got to 7 wins very easily with a mono black deck that we forced. I know people still want to watch some other stuff, so maybe we can force some more nonsense here. Maybe I first pick this Blood Artist, for example, and try to wheel like Cruel Celebrant. Go for something like black-white sack deck or something like that. I don't know. This is for the tubers. This is for you all. I'm going to first pick a Blood Artist, which obviously I would never do normally. And now we're going to take like a second pick Skyclave Shade, probably going to end up wheeling the Dreadwander or the Morbid Opportunist. Opportunist was another really good one in my last mono black deck. Again, this is not my preferred style of drafting this format. Obviously, I just like taking like blue cards or big flashy cards, expensive cards. But there is no wrong way to draft this cube. I know I've said it countless times now, but all archetypes are viable, whether you want to do aggro, mid-range, or control, or any combination or mix of any of those. It's just I prefer to draft the slower control decks, but we'll change it up for you all as we pass an approach of the second sun. We do have a very good card here, though. We could just slam this Embercleave for sure if we wanted. Embercleave has to be one of the best aggro cards in the format, if not the best. I mean, I could just take like the Woe Strider and stick with mono black, end up wheeling the Cursebound Lich. Yep, I'm gonna do that. We're gonna force it. Stick to my guns. We're gonna force this mono black. Gonna just cut off all the good black cards. I'm fully expecting that that Witch to wheel out of pack 1. There's still a possibility we end up in some sort of sacrifice deck, which is leaning towards red. In which case, you know, the Embercleave would have been nice, but I'm gonna try to stick to as close to mono black as possible. Yeah, and just show you a little bit of variety before the cube goes down, because the cube will be going down tomorrow morning as of this recording on January 20th. So it leaves the morning of January 21st. So we got to get in a couple more cubes while we can and try to do some nonsense here. As we get a Agadeem's Awakening. Very solid card. Any of these DFCs, dual face cards, are going to be great in this type of deck. And just most decks in general, right? The utility of being able to play them as a land early or cast them as a spell later on has proved time and time again just way too solid. Not to get anybody's hopes up, but in that previous draft I was just talking about, I cast Agadeem's for X = 4, and I returned, I believe it was Knight of the Ebon Legion, Jadar, a Yara, and a Rankle back from my graveyard, so it was kind of insane, as we get a very nice choice here. Priest of Forgotten Gods. Yeah, we definitely could be doing the sacrifice style deck too, so keep your eye out for cards like Mayhem Devil or whatever. I could certainly end up splashing those. Doom Necromancer versus Reassembling Skeleton. Both of those cards are medium. Even though Skeleton's like a good stack fodder card, I don't think that's the type of card you want to be running in your deck. Same thing with Doom Necro, though. It's not really what we want to be playing here, so maybe instead I end up taking like Hostile. Card's pretty bad, though, in my experience. Yeah, I guess I'll just continue to cut off the black cards, even though it's low likelihood I'm going to end up playing the Skeleton. That doesn't make any sense to me. 7th pick Demonic Tutor is crazy. To be fair, I guess this is a lot worse in this cube as opposed to like Vintage Cube, sure. But I don't think that should be a card that goes around 7th pick. So sadly passing the Spider Queen here, but I mean, I'm not going to pass a freaking 7th pick Demonic Tutor. Contempt is good. We could take Tome if we wanted to try to be a little bit grindier, but Contempt is always going to make the main deck, so happy with that choice. And now we will be getting the Wheel pack. So I mentioned the Cruel Celebrant and the, what was it, the Catcher's Monument that could come back around. But if we're trying to stay mono black, then I don't know if we actually want those, where we did wheel both of them. See, Blood Arts triggers on any creature, whereas Celebrant triggers only on yours. Man, this Blood Crypt would be so good too, right? Because this is the perfect start to splashing some red cards. But let's try taking the Celebrant. Maybe we just do like a very, very minor splash. Okay, you know what? Maybe we do some like weird black-white tokeny deck as we wield the Priest of Fell Rites. This is definitely an archetype I have not drafted. Sure. This could be good. Super low to the ground, black-white tokeny. I mean, I don't know if this Priest would actually end up making the deck. It's not that good with this style. But could be fun. There's one of the very few ways to like steal an opponent's creature here. This works well with obviously our Woe Strider and our Priest of Forgotten Gods. Yeah. I kind of like just sticking to the mono black, but white is a very real possibility. I mean, look at that. We have another archetype kind of granted to us as well if we want to do like the black-white Reanimator deck. But I think that deck is terrible. Like, unlike other cubes, there aren't that many good Reanimate targets in this format. Like, there are some decent ones. You have like Emissary, Sarah's Emissary, Sholdred, Ulamogs can be fine. But all in all, I don't think that's where you want to be. Okay. This would be a good time to take the Mayhem Devil if I wanted to. I'm kind of upset with myself that I didn't take the Blood Crypt. Nah, it's okay. Let's just stick to the mono black. I said I was going to draft mono black. I'm not going to debate like we did with the the mill deck by taking Discover over Tutelage, which I think was correct, but it just ended up not being good. Or better in the long term. Yeah, let's just take the Dusk Legion Zealot here. Let's force the mono black deck. We're going to pass all these good red cards. That makes sense. But let's try to do something a little bit different. Thoughtseize is fantastic. Doesn't look like we're going to wheel anything out of this pack, but that's okay. Thoughtseize is good enough. There's Ulamog. Ooh, here we go. Bolas' Citadel is quite nice. I think we try to wheel it and just take Sedgemoor Witch, which is another fantastic card. Yeah, hard to block, hard to target, and just gives you a lot of value. Gutterbones here. Easy pickup. Not going to consider splashing Polychronos. Again, we're mono black. Let's cut it off hard. Biggest payoffs that we could get by forcing mono black are like the Phyrexian Obliterator, because nobody's going to touch a quad black card, and then like Grey Merchant type of thing. Mastery's good. Eldest Reborn is good. Which of the Moors is okay? We actually have a few ways to gain life, but I don't think like the life gain deck got nerfed super hard in this format. So this is just like an individually okay card, but you can't really build around life gain. I dig the Reborn, but it's just expensive. Yeah, I think I'm going to take Mire Triton here. We actually have quite a few synergistic cards to go along with it, and there's the Phyrexian Obliterator. But to continue on the Mire Triton, like we have the Woe Strider for escape, we have the Shade for good value, we have the Gutterbones, we have the Awakening, so that makes sense. Harvester here looks solid. Good enough there. Fantastic card versus an opposing creature-based aggressive deck. Some decks just cannot deal with an Obliterator, right? Like a mono red deck, for example, they just fold to this if they don't already have you super low or something. Like any green deck often has a hard time. It's blue and black and white that generally can deal with an obliterator without too much issue, but always feels good to get this online. So yeah, this is going pretty well, right? We're just halfway through pack 2. Dang. Nothing, literally nothing here for us, though. That's too bad. I mean, in a pinch, we can just throw in some of these other random cards, but ideally we don't have to. I can't recall now. Was there a Dread Wanderer in pack 1 that didn't end up wheeling? Oof, as the Mayhem Devil wheels. Oops. I guess we might splash that. I want to try to stay mono black, but that would improve the power level of the deck, of course. I'm gonna take the Sky Sovereign, but I'm not sure if that's what we want in this deck. I guess that can be one of our top end, our lone super top end card. This is looking good so far. Could use a little bit more removal, I guess. When we have Thoughtseize, Contempt. There's the Citadel on the wheel. Fantastic. Polychronos, maybe splash-worthy. Yeah. That looks good. Looks pretty darn solid so far. Like Fatal Push, Blood Chief's Thirst. Those would be nice pickups, assuming I didn't already pass them. Maybe we can wield that Baleful Mastery. I don't remember what pack that was in, but could potentially still come around. We don't want that Witch, like I said. Got a hog over here. Hoarding all the packs. Demonic Pact wield. Do we play this? No. I don't know if mono black has too many ways to deal with an enchantment besides like the what's that one black card? Feed the Swarm. Alright, we got an Ayara, a Callous Blood Mage, and a Disfigure. I'm gonna just first pick the Ayara to make sure I get it. I think there's a very good likelihood that I would wheel it if I just took like Callous the Blood Mage, but I don't want to even risk that there's like a 1% chance I couldn't get it back, so I think usually you should just take Blood Mage here and try to wheel the Ayara, but I want to make sure I get it. Bantu's pretty good. Sword of Body and Mind's pretty good. This cube, Sword of Body and Mind, really shines. And we should probably wheel the Bantu. Like, this is one of the few like super relevant equipments that has transferred over to the Arena Cube, right? Seems like an easy pickup to me. 10 creatures so far. We have 2 vehicles, 1 equipment. Definitely need to pick up a few more creatures. 1 drop. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 2 drops. That's good. 1, 2, 3, 4 3 drops. Yeah, we're not doing too shabby there. And maybe at the end of the day we do end up running this skeleton, because it's like not crazy bad with the Yara, Woe Strider, and the Priest. So we've picked up a little bit more synergy for it. Tainted Adversary versus Sign in Blood and Chainers. There'd be a Judith too that we could end up splashing with the Mayhem Devil. That'd be very nice. But I'm happy just to take the Adversary here. It's a good enough card. Stick to mono black. Yeah, that seems right to me. Massacre Worm. Okay. Another one of top end card that we could end up running if we wanted to. Probably do, right? Sure. I wonder how good the Citadel's gonna be. And how many lands do we want to end up running in this style of deck? Probably 16, plus the Agadeem's Awakening. Let's see, we could go 17. Ah, very nice. Gray Merchant, Feed the Swarm, and a Malakir Rebirth. So let's slam the Merchant here, and we should be able to wheel the Rebirth. I don't know about Feed the Swarm wheeling. Passing a Predator also kind of sucks, but yeah, let's just make sure we get the Gray Merchant. That makes our Citadel a lot better too. So yeah, I might actually end up cutting the Sky Sovereign out of this deck. This is nice. Do we have any ways to bring the Gray Merchant back? Just the Awakening for like 8? That's pretty expensive. And I don't think we're running the Blood from Bones in this deck. There's Fatal Push, excellent. Celestis would be a fine playable here too if we didn't have the Fatal Push, but this is obviously just pushy. Rankle, fantastic. Alright, that might be the deck right there. We've picked up a lot of the key black cards. I think we're a little bit short on removal, but overall card quality looks really, really high. What's the easiest cut right now? Zealot's just like okay. Skeleton's just like okay. But I think every other card is pretty darn good. I guess we have a couple packs left that we haven't seen yet, so could still randomly get, like an Inquisition of Kozilek, or I don't know, some better replacement card. Ah, Midnight Reaper. Yeah, Midnight Reaper's pretty good. So is Predation. I'm not ever considering Sheoldred here. Yes, let's go for the card value. Callous Blood Mage and Disfigure on the wheel. I think I need the removal since I'm a little bit shy, so let's take Disfigure over the creature. And now we can probably cut the Zealot and probably cut that what's it called, that Skeleton. Go like this. This can be a 5-drop a lot of the time, right? And this looks good. There's the Bantu on the wheel too. Alright, 16 lands with Agadeem's Awakening. Oh, there's Sign in Blood and Judy. Oh, these are too many playables now. I mean, Bantu might not be necessary here, but it's pretty good with the Blood Artist and whatnot. I guess I can also cut Harvester. I don't think I need the Harvester anymore. Alright, last few pickups. The only things that I guess we could potentially wheel are the, like, Malakir Rebirth and the Predation. Alright, there's the Rebirth. And then Predation. That would make this deck pretty darn solid. So I could probably go like 15 lands with the 3 DFCs if I do wheel the Predation. I said I might run Celestis, but I guess I wouldn't. Alright, no Predation. So 16 lands and double DFC. Looks fantastic. Alright, let's do it. Forced Mono Black. Got the majority of the payoff cards. What could we still be running? Just the Harvester, I think, is the biggest loss, but yeah, no, this looks good to me. Good curve. Decent interaction. Let's go. Wait, did that say I already had one win somehow? That was weird. Thought it said I had one win already. Anyway, on the play here. Yep, great hand. Turn 1 Gutterbone, turn 2 we're just going to play out the adversary, turn 3 Sword, let's just curve out. Smoldering Egg, that's annoying. But we are curving. I would love to draw like Thoughtseize next turn. But anything castable along with the sword would also go a long way. Okay. I'm gonna equip the Gutter Bones here, even though that means if they have like a 3-mana burn spell, they get to finish it off. Just because the adversary already attacks into the egg by itself. Oh wow, that's really good for us. Nice. So they can't block either of these without losing their egg. Then if they do take it, they go to 10, they mill 10, and I make a 2/2. Sheesh. Alright, we're gonna play the land tapped. Or the Aghanim as a land, rather. Because with this hand, we just want to run out. Yeah, looks like they have a really good blue-red deck. Jeez, they have all the cards I ever... Key, Time Warp, Magma Opus... OP has drafted the deck that I always want. And here we are with just mono black poopers. Oh. Wow. That's sick. I milled their Time Warp and they have Mizzix's Mastery. Alright, and just like that, we might be losing. That's crazy. Dang. Wow, they truly do have all of the best blue and red cards. Holy smokes. Okay. Sheesh. That is brutal. Alright, well let's go for the Grey Merchant pre-combat for extra drain. Yeah. Man, their deck is good. Do they have another burn spell in their hand? Wow. That's crazy. Yeah, alright, good beats. We had like a perfect draw, and then the opponent just has the actual best blue-red deck ever. Yeah, the Sword of Body and Mind milling them was actually horrendous because they hit the Time Warp. Ooh, lordy. Well, what can you do? Yeah, just finish me. Stop the slow roll. I don't know what we can hope to find here, but... Alright, GG's. GG's. Yeah, our draw was fantastic, but their deck looked just stupid good. Sometimes it really do be like that. Yeah, we just needed... if we had drawn like our Thoughtseize or something, maybe. Or even just one removal spell for the dragon would have done a ton of work, but... got crushed. Alright, on the play here again. Hand looks good. No one drop this time, but nice little curve out. Through Demonic Tutor. Green-white, huh? Explore? Okay. Definitely going to be sacking our goat end of turn here to find a 4th land. Mecha Godzilla, sure. And what is it going to gain? Trample, that's fine. Land here, please. Thank you. What if I just want to slam the Rankle instead? That actually seems like a better idea, huh? Slam, Rankle, smack for 3 in the air. We'll go ahead and draw and sacrifice. Sack our Shade, make them sack their Godzilla as they go. Belt Collector, okay. Sure. That's fine. They're just off of it. Alright, well, I guess we'll take that. They are just completely off of it. Alright. Quick little 1-1 start. I don't think games are going to be too grindy with this deck. Should roll pretty smoothly, I would think. Alright, on the draw. This hand's a little bit slow. But we can probably try keeping it. I guess this is bad versus like a fast deck. Play out the Rebirth turn 1, I think. Green-white again. Since they didn't do anything the first 2 turns, I'm actually going to Thoughtseize instead of playing out the Shade. Ah. They are... okay. So let's take the Teleportation Circle here. They are a Bant Flicker deck. They're probably going to cycle or neutralize, I would guess. Do a Spring to Mind, sure. So they're gonna go for Golos next turn. We can just Contempt the Golos if we want to, although doesn't look like they're... I mean, they could be doing Field of the Dead things, but... my guess is we just need to try to kill them before they get Approach into Approach, which might not actually be real. It's a great turn for them if they have it. Oh, they don't. Okay, great. Oof. Timeless Witness getting back their circle. Yikes. Well, that's disgusting. I guess I have to kill this. Because if they start teleporting, if they start flickering that, it's so bad for us. If they draw an untapped land, they get to go circle plus knight and just gain infinite life. Holy moly, yeah. I assume they're just going to double gain 4 life though, because it doesn't make sense to make it a 4-3, so at least we do get to Massacre Worm away the knight. They go to 20 rather than they go to 17. Then they might just slam approach here if they don't want to Timeless Witness this turn. Yep. And we do not have much time. I mean, we do have a pretty nice clock, but... Let's see. 2, 3, and maybe sack the Shade. Alright, we can play Triton. It's gonna be kind of close. Oh, they left something on top. They have Wrath? Please no. Oh, Time Walk. Alright, well they don't get birds, but they do get to scry. God, it's gonna be really close. Bottom that, draw the 3rd, then go for spring. Am I dead? Bottom that, draw that. Yeah, we're dead to spring next turn. Wow. 6... How much damage do I have? 11, 12, 13, 14. Oh, I might actually be able to kill them here, exactly, if they just go for spring. Assuming this is not something relevant, we have exactly 15. They have a commit. And that's exactly enough. Wow. Are we really gonna lose with this deck? Like this? This is so embarrassing, I feel like. It's true. Well, that's frustrating. Alright, GG's. GG's. Well. This is not what this deck is supposed to be doing. But... yeah, good beats, I guess. I mean... not sure what else I was supposed to do that game. Yeah. Alright, well. That's too bad. Hopefully we can just win it out from here, because I would really hate to go 1-3 with this. If I'm gonna go 1-3, at least I want to do it with like some crazy 5-color, you know, nutty spell deck. If I go 1-3 with monocolor, why did I even draft monocolor in the first place? Ay, ay, ay. Ooh. Ah, this is probably a mulligan. This just doesn't do anything. That's a little bit better, although still not great. Well, I am not confident in our position, but maybe we can draw a couple good cards off the top. Another red-blue deck, sure. That's not a bad draw. This mirror's super annoying there. So if I play out the Blood Artist beforehand, then they just shoot it, right? Oh, a Field of the Dead deck. All right. Well, this is not the start we want to... Oh, the key to the archives, too. Oh, no! Well, rip the run. This is just really unfortunate. I think we've just kind of gotten unlucky in these matches. Turns out they were more colors than initially expected, huh? Ay, 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 ay. Steal my Thoughtseize or something? No. Do I even bother contempting that? I don't think so. Gray Merchant for 3 is not very exciting. Sure. Yeah, now we can go Worm first into Gray Merchant for potentially a big Merchant trigger. God, watch them steal my Citadel here and just slam dunk it. I guess since they're playing Field of the Dead, it might just be better to hold the Worm and hope, yeah? Still just play out the Merchant next turn. Stole my Obliterator. Oh, good thing I held on to the Contempt. That's pretty rude of them. Dang gutter bones. I mean, they've been missing land drops too, so they just have nothing but spells in their hand. Oy, oy, oy. Sure. Meyer Triton. Priest and a land milled, okay. Multiple choice. Alright, they get a 4/4, they draw a card, I bounce my Meyer Triton. They actually might bounce their Gonti, actually. Bouncing Gonti for extra value could also make sense, but looks like they didn't. Sure. Rankle's pretty good here. Okay. Let's play Meyer Triton first and see what we hit in the graveyard. Any value maybe? No, disfigure in a land. Effectively trades my Meyer Triton for Gonti. Which I don't even know if is correct. But they have so many cards in their hand already, I figure giving them extra cards with Rankle's not that bad, because I can utilize the cards more. How's this Time Walk now? Epiphany? Yep. Oh, that wasn't even, that wasn't the Foretold card, that was just cast. Okay. That wasn't that bad then. Although maybe we even wanted them to get birds because we have Massacre Worm. Alright, more ramp. So what the Foretold card is then? Oh. Alright. Now they did have like Scholar to Time Warp again. Sedgemoor Witch. Sure. I mean, if they just have any counter magic, we're also just dead. Sheesh. Absolutely brutal. I think I'm just going to play Grey Merchant. See if they have a counter. If they do, so be it. We can't win anyways. If they don't, I'm just going to pass. No attack, I think. Yeah. Not dead on board, but dead to any interaction. Oh, well. What an awful draft that was. I mean, I guess the draft itself was fine. We ended up with a pretty solid looking mono blacklist, but those games were brutal. 1 in 3? Well, there you go, friends. Forced mono black. I thought we ended up with a pretty good deck, but sometimes that's how the games play out. So, GG's. They can't all be winners, sadly. You know, I don't like cherry picking drafts, so sometimes streamer goes 1 in 3 or tuber goes 1 in 3. Yeah, not much to say. I think we did everything in our power that we could. A lot of the matches we played, the opponent's decks just lined up really well with what we were doing. Right, that one game where we milled them with sword and they were able to Mizzix's Mastery, the Time Warp, and flip their dragon. The other match where they had Approach of the Second Sun and they needed one interactive card, otherwise we had Lethal and they had Commit. And then that one we kind of just got wrecked as well. Just didn't have any early pressure and they were able to do their more impressive time warping cards with, you know, 4/4s on the battlefield. So GG's, thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed, even though 1 in 3 is obviously not very good, but sometimes that's the way it goes. See you next time.